What up? What up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is Mthfk Monday. Little pop up that me and Dino decided to do to touch on some of the shit that went on over the weekend. And we all know since old DJT is being inaugurated as we speak, there's going to be all kind of news coming up pretty much daily. First and foremost, happy Martin Luther King's Day. That should be more important than anything else. Maybe a lot of y'all need to go listen to his speech before you go running your mouth about shit. Because a lot of the fuck shit that's been out there would make this poor man flip in his goddamn grave. We're going to touch on a little bit of the inauguration, a little bit of fuck shit that's been said. We're going to touch on some of the TikTok. Because that's been the big thing that totally overshadowed all the people dying in California. So with that being, well, not so much the people, but everything else. So with that being said, our foreign correspondent from the deep, dark tundras of Canada, we have Dino, the motherfucking genetic marvel. Where you at? Boom.
Hey. Listen, bro, I've been watching. It's live. Hilariously, it is live on TikTok, the inauguration. So I've been watching that, and I'm like, bro, I just want everything to happen, and everybody just get back to work. That's
Dude,
all.
These people are fucking. I've heard so much fucking stupid shit. Everything to, Trump don't fucking want to go, or Trump wanted it inside because his crowd was gonna be small. To he's too afraid of the cold, all that time. I mean, really, I mean, honestly, the reason why he's fucking in there is because there's been threats of drone attacks. That's why.
100%.
I mean,
and like we're in the only thing worse that can happen to the US is to have a power vacuum, like something happened to your president, regardless of who it is.
oh, and
So-
the bad thing is right now would be the perfect time.
And bro, and literally the entire world would go into chaos. So, and that's like one of the things, even like, so I got it for our quote for tonight at Life of Giants is the JFK quote, it's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I feel like a lot of people are missing that point where you're like, bro,
fucking bad.
Well, listen, Trump ain't coming to your house and going to take your rights. That's not how that works. Okay?
If a lot of people would listen to especially a lot of these Senate hearings and a lot of the shit that he's doing, he's giving you a lot of your fucking rights back. A lot of these rights that were taken away from normal people just to appease this whole fucking culture of bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that simple.
Well, people need to understand that they're getting played by social media and they're getting played by, major media outlets. Listen, these people, like, you have to start realizing that like they're it's propaganda. It's all propaganda, right?
I
so
mean,
just take a step back and go, hey, let's calm down.
The shit that I've seen on that red note, that I mean, that if that isn't the fucking propagandist playbook, oh my god. And then I actually seen some Americans arguing on the side of red note, talking about Tiananmen Square never happened. It was just a couple of protesters. I remember that. I remember seeing that on TV. I remember seeing the dude get ran over by the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a Mandela effect now. Nobody ever got ran over by the tank. Everything else happened, but the dude never got ran over.
Listen, it's people, you know what? Just stop and live your life. That's what you got to do. You got to stop thinking about everybody else and just like, oh, this is happening. That's not your problem. Just stop and focus on your life. And you know what? Like, look, we do this because we're like, hey, people should be talking about this stuff. We're not saying it because, oh, well, we know better. No, we don't know anything. We're just looking at it going, hey, have you guys seen this shit? Because this shit is crazy. And that's the whole point of it. And you know, we jest, we joke, but it's more so just a hey, you know, do
Well,
people realize the importance of this stuff happening, because it's important and it's happening whether you like it or not.
so this is I kind of got an issue with this TikTok thing, and it's something that nobody has been talking about.
Oh,
I think maybe one person had even brought it up, but as I'm watching the Senate hearing, because they did have emergency Senate hearings on all social media. I mean, they were holding Zuckerberg, the heads of X, the heads of Insta. See, it was Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
Instagram, X,
yep,
Snapchat, and TikTok,
yep,
and all the heads of each and every one of them.
yep,
Now, when you come to something like that, you already seen what happened. This is while TikTok was still banned.
yep.
This they actually turned TikTok back on in the middle of the Senate hearing.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest issues I saw in that Senate hearing was everybody was playing ball. Everybody knew that one wrong statement, one wrong rule, and your shit's gonna get taken down.
Yeah.
Which that's another issue we're gonna talk about afterward. But so obviously, as a CEO, as a representative or whatever of that company, you play ball. Whatever, we all know you ain't gonna fucking do the whole shit anyways afterward. That's just the American way. But
Right.
you shut the fuck up and you play ball. And fucking Snapchat, dude, the head of Snapchat did not, like, there's like 4 or 5 acts or whatever bills that were implemented, that have been implemented, and they're targeted. Oddly enough, nothing was said about data breaching. They were targeted about human trafficking,
Right.
child pornography,
Yeah.
drug trafficking,
Yeah.
and cyberbullying,
Right.
which I'm still up in the air about that. But
Sure.
and all of them agreed. They're like, yes, we agreed to this. Yes, we agreed to this. Yes, we agreed. Here comes Snapchat. We're not prepared right now to agree to anything, but we look forward to having discussions. Even the one senator was like, we've been having the discussions. This is the discussion. It's time for something to be done.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, we don't, not sure. Maybe we'll think about it. We'll talk. And you're going, all right, man.
And that goes into a lot of these arguments that I heard. Like, I got to talk to you. I'm actually going to look up his name, because since I'm going to say his name publicly, please go check out his show, because apparently he has a show too. Be prepared to lose brain cells, because I felt like I did. But so I feel like Joey Edibles, a good buddy of ours. Check his channel out, Square Table Degenerates. Joey Edibles, awesome dude. He has good content. Go and check him out. He is opposed to TikTok. I'm kind of opposed to TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. And it's okay for you if you want to have it, fine. But I haven't been on TikTok in 5 years. I mean, even in our private chats, when we share stupid reels or whatever, if it's on TikTok, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It's just, it wasn't my thing.
He makes me download the video, and then I have to send the video to him privately. That's basically what happens.
I might do it now, since it's the thing now.
Yeah.
Plus, I tried that fan base. I was all for fan base. That's another TikTok type fucking app. I tried it out. It was supposed to be Black created, Black owned. What's up, Teddy? Black created, Black owned. It's American made. It was all that stuff, and of course,
didn't work. It didn't work.
It works, but only half the time. So typical.
Can't even put a 40-hour work week in, bro. Yeah, come on.
American fucking app. So
after 2 hours, like it's time for coffee. I can't.
And then I went on it the first day when TikTok got banned that day. I went on there, and I just opened it up, and I had issues trying to download a video or whatever, and I just got frustrated with it, left it alone. I haven't been on there since then. And like a chick you had a one night stand and never called back, they're fucking. They've sent me 3 emails already. Oh, not for you. Try premium. Hey, why don't you try this again? Or hey, look, man. I mean, at least TikTok, when I fucking let them go, they were like, "Fuck you, bye." You know.
I mean, look, I think this is the lesson that everybody needs to realize is in the end, whether they admit to it or not, whatever information they're taking, if the service is free, you are the product. It's a very simple motto to understand. So if you're doing something and you're like, hey, you can use this app for free, your information is what's the product. It's that simple.
Now, in the beginning of this, because this has been a big up, Donald Trump started this. Yes. For all you white right wingers who are pushing the, oh, Donald Trump's a god. Look, I'm a supporter, but calm the fuck down. All right, because Donald Trump was the one who put this all, started the snowball on the top of the hill.
Yep.
There was a lot of shit talking about him and misinformation going about him, and a lot of others, but more so him. And I hear through back sources, it hasn't really been confirmed, but it was not so much Donald Trump, but the Israeli government. There was a lot of shit talking about Israel that they didn't want to happen.
Well, let's be honest. There's a lot of shit that's happening in Israel that they don't want people talking about.
Right.
Whether it's right or wrong, they don't want people
magically fucking, out in the air too. From yesterday, I'm really pissed about that. Made me look like an asshole. Well, more than usual. So that's where that all came from. Yeah. But once talks got done, just like Obama didn't like the gays and didn't like gay marriages, he switched up his tune.
Yeah.
So did Donald Trump switch up his.
Well, so because interestingly, Donald Trump put his money where his mouth was and actually hired a bunch of gays for the first time in certain offices that people were like, "Did you not know that?" And they're like, "No." You're like,
this whole time, all the Trump bashing from the gays, he was holding gay weddings at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's a businessman. He's like, "Oh, you'll pay? Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Oh, you're gay? I don't care. You're not making me be gay. I don't really care. Just pay me money. That's fine. Whatever." And look, if you are so driven to choose to deny someone services because of the color of their skin, their country of origin, or their sexual proclivities, that's within your right. That's fine. But also too, someone can do that to you, and you know what? They will, and you'll feel like shit, and you go, I made people feel like shit. You're like, yeah, you're a bad person. It's fine. You're allowed to do that, but that makes you a bad person because you're not being, and that's why there's a difference between embracing somebody's ideologies or being cordial enough to be like, hey, these aren't my beliefs, but I allow you to believe what you want. And I support you. I support you. If that brings you comfort, by all means. And that's that whole thing where you're going, hey, that's not my religion, but I don't care. If it makes you feel happy, good. Hey, man, if that's what you need.
A better person, you pray to the pink elephant in the sky for all I care.
I mean, who doesn't? He's majestic and provides all the wishes you want. That's fair.
So, there's a lot of Democrats out there, a lot of still Trump haters who are just pushing the fact that Donald Trump started the ball rolling, but not that he switched it up. And obviously, they didn't watch these Senate hearings because it was a very bipartisan crew. I have to admit that this was one of the first fucking hearings that I sat through. I watched about 2.5 hours. It was 3+ hours. I couldn't do the whole thing. But it was the one of the hearing that they were both sides had valid contradictions. Both sides, they also, they showed the goods about everything.
Sure.
But they showed the bad, a lot of the bad. And a lot of these bads are what, the people who were against TikTok needs to use as their arguments not you don't know how the country's run and you need to take a civics class and the government don't work that way and it's not infringing upon the rights and this and that and all that other bullshit. Because going back to why I even thought of this whole show, what the fuck is this fuckwit's name? So I mean, you could check him out. I'm not sure which way he leans. He sounded real snowflakey to me when he was running his mouth. And even though he supposedly has his own show, I offered him an open platform to speak his views or whatever here. And of course, I got the whole snowflakey answer. Well, why am I going to be on a show with somebody who don't know what he's talking about? And basically, he made me defend TikTok. And again, I'm not, a TikTok person. And I can't stand when somebody is saying damn near the same thing I am. But I was saying the same shit, but I said it wasn't right.
Yeah.
And he's gonna argue with me that that's the way the country is, and it is right, and this and that. So his name is Joseph Breda, but not like the filter, like with a D, not a T. And
fair enough.
So the original post came from Joey Edibles.
Yeah.
It says if Donald Trump brings back TikTok, I'm 100% out on anything he says or does, as should everyone. We have been working hard for this to save the fucking country. America is in a good place now. Keep it that way. Now, my response, there was a few other ones. But my response was, I have to disagree with you, bro. As much as I don't give two shits about TikTok, they could go fuck a hat for all I care. It's about freedom of speech and freedom of expression. If anything, the people should have decided, not the bureaucrats or the Supreme Court. If Americans voted that they didn't want this shit, then fine. We just only thing this is doing is opening the door for more censorship.
Yes.
Which, again, I always say this. We have freedom of speech. We have freedom of expression, but we don't have freedom of a platform.
Yes.
But the platform didn't take away these people's jobs. The platforms didn't take away these people's entertainment. The platform didn't take away what scraps of educational shit came from TikTok. The government did. That's where the fucking problem is. Idiot. Somebody save this and link it to Dickwad's fucking show. That's where the fucking problem is. Right there.
It's
being that now when it did start, Donald Trump's main thing was the data breaches because we were having a bunch of hacking into our datas and shit like that. That was we did a show on this. You know how they ByteDance and saved TikTok's information and ByteDance's information on the same cloud that what was it, BlackRock or Vanguard or whatever. So it was in the same spot. It might not have been in the same folder, but it was on the same fucking page. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why that was all about. That's why he got the ball rolling. And supposedly they took care of that. So if that was the only problem, they took care of it, then Trump's going to bring it back.
So aside from all that, let's be honest though, is why is the government involved in securing a privately owned third-party company's security data? That's not appropriate. That's not the government's job. That is that company's job. And if that company can't figure out how to secure its own data, then that company has a problem. Why it becomes a matter for the government to be involved, zero purpose. And that's why, look, BlackRock has too much power. Vanguard has too much power. Smart Street has too much power. There's no one is saying, you know what they need? More power. No. They are too powerful. And in an age where we have democracy, that kind of power is not okay to have.
See, now this goes back to what I was, that kind of bleeds into this. What I have found out that except Snapchat, and you guys might want to give Snapchat its props or whatever, because I know how the snowflakes are. But all these other social media, we already know Trump got X under his thumb.
Yeah.
We already know fucking, Zuckerberg done bent over like he was at a Diddy party for fucking
Oh,
Trump.
he smiled, baby.
And not, people don't realize, but he not only runs Meta, but he runs Instagram too.
And
So
WhatsApp.
yeah. So now Trump has 4 social medias under his thumb. Here comes TikTok, 5 social medias under his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
The only one he don't really have under his thumb is Snapchat, and the fuckery that's going on there, I could care less. If you freedom of speech or not, the Snapchat is full of pedophiles and human trafficking and kiddie porn, dude. The shit that they pulled up off of that Instagram's known for kids killing themselves. A lot of the cyberbullying.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah. And you know what? Back in the day when the cyberbullying first became a thing, turn off the fucking computer. It's a video game. But nowadays, the generation, that's how I told my kids, and they realized it and they don't, moved on with their lives. But now my grandkids or my younger kids, they grew up in this generation where the computer is everything now. So the cyberbullying is now real. And what's fucked up is we live in a culture now that these kids, if they fuck up, they can't come and talk to their parents no more. They're afraid to go say something to their parents because, and one of the senators who's Senator Blumenthal, he was the one who made the biggest push because I don't remember if it was his son or his grandson. Thought he met a new girlfriend on one of these apps. And they're sending pictures back and forth, and apparently there was some sketchy pictures. But then they find out, it came around that he was being catfished by some Nigerian, gang or whatever. They threatened to show these pictures to everybody. Being that his father was a senator or grandfather was a senator, he was afraid. So he paid the first bit of money. Well, of course, they see you're going to pay the first bit of money. What are they going to do? Try to get more from you. And he couldn't afford it, or he couldn't come up with the money or anything. So he ended up killing himself instead of being like, hey, Dad, I fucked up.
Yeah. That's horrible.
I don't know. We live in this culture now that nobody can say that they're wrong. What the fuck is wrong with saying that you're fucking wrong? I did a whole show on me being wrong about something.
He was wrong, everyone. He was wrong. He was so wrong.
I was fucking wrong.
But that's the world we live in, though, is where people are afraid to admit that they're wrong, just thinking that in some way people will think less of them. Hey, man, guess what? Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you to the point where you being wrong is going to devastate their existence. Nobody cares. Just like, hey, admitting when you're wrong, that's called being a fucking grown up. Okay. If you can't admit when you're wrong, you're a child. And you know what? You'll be treated as a child.
I mean, that's just like, a lot of people bitch and moan about me grabbing sources. I don't like giving out my sources because I want you to look up what the fuck, if you can't happen to come across something that I do, because I don't do anything special except now. Well, no, I just got this new Perplexity AI. We're not getting paid to fucking sponsor them, but it's a pretty cool app. You might want to check it out. It's free. But it gives you sources. Not only does it give you the answer to whatever you're asking, it gives you where the fucking got his answers from, which is kind of cool. But I had mentioned something yesterday. I saw a video, the magic video. And as all these other channels are saying, the Gaza ceasefire, the Israeli ceasefire, how great it was, and all this other thing, which wasn't too good for Israel. Let's just put it out there, whether they deserve it or not. But 3 for 90 is not, that's that new math. But anyway, I seen it was a news video. I watched the fucking missiles flying, and it was real quick. I watched it for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I had some other shit to do in the house.
Right.
So about an hour later, maybe 2 hours later, I get done. I sit back down. Jared asked me, if I could. He wanted to see the video because he couldn't find it. He wanted to look into it.
Right.
Because everything else, I would too. Everything else was fucking, saying that there was all happy-go-lucky and there's parades in the streets and shit like that. When I went to go look for it, I'm going through my phone, and it's not in my history from YouTube. So I'm like, well, maybe wait a minute. Let me go look because I watched it on my Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go into the Xbox. Maybe the accounts got mixed up. Some fudgery.
Maybe.
So I went on to the fucking Xbox. Nothing. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. And I've seen the video I watched before it, and I've seen the video that I watched after it.
Bro.
Nothing in between. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Because I triple checked damn near everything. I came into the studio. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. So I mean, ultimately I took down the post because I can't verify it. Therefore,
Yep.
hey, it is what it is. I put it edit out for a few minutes, let them know my source fucking disappeared, so I can't say whether this is real or not. And then after that, I took it down. It's that fucking easy. I was wrong. Or even if I wasn't wrong, I can't prove that I'm right. So you bow out gracefully.
This is the situation where, let's be honest, there's no reason for all this bad stuff that happens on the internet for it to actually happen, for the simple fact that if there's something they don't want you to see, they can scrub it from the internet so very quickly.
Yeah.
So any illegal stuff,
child porn gone, they could do it. This proves if they wanted any kind of anything.
And this is that whole thing where, hey, if they wanted to, they would. So if the government wanted to fix this stuff, they would.
And
they're choosing not to.
Quick, when it came back on, it was damn near instant. It wasn't this area or the East Coast got it for a little bit and then it bled in or kind of worked. No.
Well, you heard today that the big thing was that all of the information got transferred to Meta servers, right? So now there's a good chance that TikTok is going to be under Zuckerberg.
Right.
So you're going, okay. So number one, then was it a ban or was it offline for a technical update? Yeah.
Was it a hostile takeover?
Well, and also there's a whole thing of senators and stuff who have all been caught having bought Meta stock over the last couple weeks. And Meta stock plummeted a little while ago, for the last couple of days, because everyone's like, fuck Instagram, I'm not going back to Reels, I'm going to TikTok, and they're going to whatever. So ultimately, now we're like, we're back in the situation. Yeah,
they all bought the baby oil.
They all got the baby oil.
That's it. I mean, you wonder why Diddy had so many separate bottles of baby oil. That's how many separate people.
You got to bring your own and put your name on it. That's fine.
That's it. You sign your name. It's like when you go into them bathrooms at the clubs, you sign your name on the fucking wall.
Yeah. This is why what people need to start realizing about social media is that this is a game and you are their product, right? You got to start realizing, we use social media to document stuff and to tell stories and to make jokes and entertain people. That's what we like doing. We like making people laugh and making people question their existence. But after all is said and done, I'm still a real person. I still have my priorities. Like today, I had to push a car down the road. It sucked, but that's my workout for the day. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I volunteer every fucking morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm up, whether it's freezing or whether it's basting hot.
Listen, that's it. Animals don't know it's Christmas. You got to get out there.
That's it. So, getting back to this back and forth I had with this guy. So, the next, or his reply to what I said, and mind you, this is 4 days later.
4 days?
Yeah. People are free to speak, or 3 days, 4 days.
Whatever.
People are free to speak and express themselves with or without TikTok, which, yeah, you're right. The Constitution doesn't guarantee a right to a platform, just the action. And yes, you're right. That has nothing to do with the fuck I was talking about. That had nothing to do with if anything, that just says the government needs to stay the fuck out of everybody else's business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right there, idiot. So, I wrote back, I understand, but in that you have freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and the freedom of speech and expression anywhere in America. Now, if society as a whole collective got to vote on it, and now I said if they got to vote on it,
right,
that'd be important in some fuckwittery that he said, and said fuck TikTok, then that would have been fine. But when the government comes in to ban something, Just like anything else, it takes away the rights of the people, whether it's in the so-called best interests of the people or not.
Yes.
So, and it was good. That goes into what I was saying before. Even with the whole data breach thing, now people know about it and they still want TikTok. So now it's not a data breach. It's take my data so I can make this video.
Yeah.
So
well, now the truth is out.
Yeah, that right there is gone. That's just like for you biblical people out there, because a lot of Bible thumpers were against TikTok too. But you still got a cell phone. Nobody, your mark of the beast. You don't have to submit. Your mark is right there in your hand. You pay for a monthly subscription for your mark. Bro. Because if you don't have your phone, because of the culture nowadays, our culture couldn't say this, but because of the new culture, new society, everything is done on your phone. So if you don't have phone service, you can't pay your bills, you can't make appointments, you can't order food, you can't order a ride. You're fucked.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to hear this. The Bible thumpers are out there about that shit. You carry your mark just a little differently.
But make no mistake, you are marked.
Right. Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, we've all and see, it's interesting that you would pose it that way, Marco, because what people forget to realize is that we are all marked in our own way, whether it's by the master we serve or the effects of the choices we've made. But we are marked for whatever way, shape, or form you want to take it. And someone else, not us, can see those marks, and they see them very clearly.
Oh, so, I'm marked like a detention fucking death.
Listen, he's basically an Etch-a-Sketch on his body. You just have to connect the lines.
No, I'm not a fan. If you see my son, he looks like a fucking doodle pad.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fucking, and he's very, very white and ginger. Not a good look. Not a good look. When he's showing me now the tattoos it's good artwork.
Sure.
But what it screams is unemployable.
Basically, yeah.
And then he's pissed off that he's a fucking roofer. I mean, there ain't very many other places for you, son. I love you to death, but Jesus.
Well, listen, look, the advantage of doing a job like that is if you work hard and learn, right? Because you're not a dumb guy, you're just doing a dumb job. It's good money, but also you can start your own company, and there is no limit to how much money you can make. But that doesn't, people will see you with tattoos and they will treat you a certain way. I've tried to explain this to people. Listen, if growing up, if I saw somebody with a tattoo on their neck and or face, that's a murderer. Don't talk to that person. It's that simple. Okay. Now, if they have a tattoo on their neck or face, they may have an album coming out. They may be a CrossFitter, and they're going to tell you. They're going to want to have a conversation, and then you're going to be like, "Hey,
the hog ring in the nose that came back, the hog ring and the fucking colored hair." Yeah. It's terrible. Terrible.
There's nothing.
Tax season. I'll tell you that.
What I want people to realize is that none of this is new. Okay, remember, there's actually there are scriptures in the Bible that says, "Do not tattoo or scar your body on behalf of somebody else." And I remember a young person going, "Yeah, but that's symbolic." I'm like, "Symbolic of what? What is it? What is the symbol?"
Tattoos are symbolic.
Yeah, and the whole idea was that, because remember, is that like Roman soldiers would get tattooed for what they're in, right? Like that's where that original type stuff is, right?
People fucking did that shit, dude.
Hey, and they would scar. I knew a guy in school who had a lion's head and mane, but it was all like little scars all over his shoulder. Yeah. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. That guy was a psychopath. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. Okay, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. He was a black guy. He had little dreads, and he had this. It was all his shoulder, and it was essentially. And he had another Bob Marley one. Looked super cool. Honestly, that guy, I was like, he always has a weapon on him. Do not be in close quarters with him. You'll get stabbed. Just an FYI. So
and now it just means you're fucking,
I'm an artist. This is how I show my art, and you're like, that's not how that works. But all right, cool.
All right. So going back to this fuckery here. So my reply to him was, the whole platform thing I said before about, you have freedom of speech, but not freedom of platform, which it's pretty much, but same thing he fucking said. And then I said, let's see, people who run the platform, or see, we'll just start from the beginning. I always say you have the right to free speech, but not always, but also always say you do not have a right to a platform. But the people who run the platform have the right, especially if we gave them the right to do business in America, which we gave them the right to do business in America.
Correct.
Now, and this goes back to what I was saying. Now, if TikTok said that all you people got to go, then they have the right to do that. But when the government says all you people got to go, then we have a problem. Idiot.
Is that not? Do people not understand that the government acts on the will of the people? If it doesn't act on the will of the people, then you don't have a government. You have a ruling class.
Oh, you got to hear some of the shit that this idiot spewed. Let's see. We have forwarded rights to illegals with no problem, but we take away rights of the people who potentially put money in the pockets of America. Again, I really don't care because I see the downside, which I figured if he was going to make an argument, he would have talked about the trafficking and all this shit. So obviously he's not hip to the fucking Senate hearing. The downside of it. And I haven't been on the platform in over 5 years, but it's not up to me whether I like it or not to choose whether you could use it or not, nor is it anyone else. Now, apparently he had a problem with that. He says the people voting on stuff directly is not how we do anything in the U.S.
It's how we should, though.
Never in the history of the country have the people voted on anything directly. We're not that kind of democracy, and we never have been. Regardless, the people still have the right to make and post their dumb dances on at least 3 other platforms. Nothing has been banned except ownership of a social network by the Chinese government. Now, idiot. The ban happened due to the ownership. The ban, it wasn't owner.
Hey, forget about that. You know that TikTok is banned in China as well, right?
Yeah, they got their own form of TikTok. Yeah. And it's all highly regulated and censored.
Yeah. So, like, the idea that, bro, okay.
Like, just the idiocy in the shit that this dude, like, now, mind you, in a lot of shit there, he is correct. But like you said, should it be done? And that was my whole point. You're not saying, a lot of this shit is stupid for your argument, but you're saying that, yeah, I know a lot of this fuck shit happens, which obviously you have no problem with. I'm just saying it's not right.
Yeah. Is that not obvious? Do people not realize that stuff? Like, this is my thing, is that it's like, yeah, but that's not how we vote here. Yes, but that's called democracy, and you should be able to put your opinion on anything that falls down. And the problem, look, you have senators voting on things that they haven't read through. Problem immediately. That is the immediate problem. You have somebody who's acting on your voice who hasn't read what they're voting on. They just accepted some guy going, hey, we're doing this.
What
so
about
when
Pelosi was like, we'll sign it and read it later? Remember that shit?
How dare you? How dare you? The idea that somebody would suggest that? Absolutely not. And hey, if you're a senator, house member, whatever, even just a guy at the corner store yelling, and you haven't read what you're yelling about, immediately you should go to jail. Because you are the Chinese government spreading propaganda. That's what you are. Right, if you haven't read the thing, you're the propagandist. You should go to jail.
So there's a couple more that I posted, saying pretty much what I just said, and this is his answer. So what you need to do is completely change the 250-year-old system of government that we operate under and have operated under. Yeah, fuckwit. Yes, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's why we voted for fucking Trump, to try to change something. I mean, it's a slim chance, but Jesus, that's what the fuck we're talking about. You moron.
One step at a time. Like, that's the whole point of change. If you don't change and adapt, you get left behind. That's life.
So here's you know the rest of it.
Mm.
That's simply not how it works. The government can and does and did decide whether or not a foreign company can own something. There are all kinds of categories of business that must be owned by American corporations.
What
This
about farmland, you dumb piece of shit?
yeah. I mean,
Bro,
this whole bullshit about stuff needs to be owned by American went out a long time ago.
no. Hey,
you know how much of the United States is owned still by Great Britain? Like they could shoot somebody on that property, and our government, our local, and nobody. They could shoot a fucking cop on that British land.
Forget about all that. Okay, if you really want to do this, so in Dubai, if a company wants to operate in Dubai, they have to give up ownership of that company by a certain percentage to somebody who's local. So the local person sponsors the business to come into the country. Okay, that's how it works. And by doing that, they forfeit a certain amount of the profit. I believe it's actually like 40% of profits go to that person as their payment. So I remember a friend who his childhood friend or something, his dad was the one that brought Mercedes Benz into Dubai. And because of that, everything that all business that Mercedes Benz, he gets a cut of. And that's their job. He's like, I brought in a business. The business makes lots of money, and they give me a share because they're not allowed to operate here without me. So if you really want it that way, hey, make no mistake, there is a process like that that's existing, and there's no reason why America can't be driven the same way. But you're not arguing that. You're saying, well, we can't do that. No, you choose not to do that. Other people do it. So you're not
exactly.
Your argument is, well, this is our America and this is how we like it. Okay, and your way is wrong. If you can't realize that your way is wrong,
or at least needs tweaked, you know? Because I mean, I'm for the Constitution and everything, and that's an old ass document. But you know, there's some tweakages that could be done.
Always.
But you know, you're not just gonna fucking say fuck the Constitution without the tweakages being done the right way.
Like, look, we can take away certain things, like women's right to vote. Let's take that away. They obviously have done a poor job. They don't deserve it. Clearly, that's fair.
All right, so
some men have done a poor job. They should get their vote taken away as well. That's fine.
So I'm telling the dude, you know, he's just not getting the point. I'm saying the same goddamn thing, but you know, I'm just saying it ain't right. I mean,
yeah.
And his answer is, you're not getting it. The government can and did. No should or should not.
But they did.
Now he's fucking Yoda. That's not how it's done, and it has nothing to do with our rights. You've said as much. No rights have been violated. None. Not a single one. And this, nothing like someone buying a... Because I gave an example of, I was like, maybe he's not getting it. So I made the example of, say somebody buys a street, quarter mile. You know, there's nothing on that fucking street. He puts up a house and starts a business. Right. Then he got some buddies or whoever. He says, come on to my street. You can start your business. Now that whole street is fucking booming. People are making money. People are contributing outside the street.
Great.
But the government's not getting their cut, so they come and shut the street down.
That's bullshit.
Do you think that's a fair comparison?
It is.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay. So
because the government isn't working within their power, they're stopping you from operating. That's not what the government's job is.
Let's take away the fucking freedom of speech argument, you fuckwit. How about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, motherfucker? As much as I don't like TikTok, I know a lot of motherfucking people who are happy with it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of, the pursuit of happiness, they're content creators. You know, a lot of these fucking lazy fucks, aren't doing shit, but now found at least a way to support themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a productive thing. That's a good thing. So the fact was, I'll be honest with you, everyone in Canada was like, ooh, if America gets banned, maybe we'll get a creator fund and we can get paid from TikTok too. So like selfishly, we were like all for it. But ultimately, in the end, the government banned it, and then it didn't get banned. So, did the government do anything? No, they just wasted everyone's time running in circles, which is what the government does.
And you know what? That was a good test run for other shady shit going on. And that's what I was saying about, you know, Trump having all these fucking heads of the social media under his thumb. I don't want all I don't want all information from him and his crew.
No.
You know, again, I'm a supporter, but I ain't stupid enough to just listen to everything he says. You gotta listen. You know, most of my fucking news I watch is what's against everything I believe in, because I want to know the other side of the story. I'm open-minded enough to be like, hey, maybe I was wrong. You know, listen, I listen to both sides, you know, because the argument, if I was arguing against TikTok or any other social media, I would use the cyberbullying. I would use the child pornography. I would use the human trafficking and the drug trafficking. That would be the argument. You want to stand on something solid. That is a solid argument.
Yeah.
Not
Can you imagine someone's back? No, I'm okay with the trafficking. You're like, no, you're not, bro.
Like that, and it's not taking away your right to expression. So where are we at?
Tell me more of this idiot.
Let's see. The guy who thinks a TikTok ban is a violation of our rights thinks I don't know what I'm talking about. Reconsider your bad life choices. So then I just wrote back, you know, like smiley faces, and then, well, make sure you talk. Or he said, see, that's where he took out his fucking thing. I have a show that I do, whatever, and you know, trying to brag on his show. And he says, well, make sure you talk about. Or I told him, make sure you talk about me, because I'm definitely going to talk about you, because I don't talk shit behind nobody back. No, I will tell you, I'm going to talk shit about you. You know, if I can't talk to you face to face, motherfucker, I will let you know. I'm going to let you know.
I have the balls to say it right to your face in front of your family and your grandparents. I don't give a shit. I'll say it. Yeah. I have no qualms. If you want to do something about it, I'd love to see you try. Just an FYI. Okay. That's fine. I'm protected up in here in Canada. Nobody has guns. It's good. Hey, here's hoping. 51st state, baby. Come on. I'll get all the guns.
Just ridiculous. I can't stand somebody who wants to argue for the sake of argument.
Because
like, and if you're gonna do that, because I do it a lot, it sharpens the skills, but I'm gonna have an argument.
So, but that's the problem, is people don't want to argue. They want you to do what they say by only being allowed to talk, and you don't. And you're going, that's not an argument. An argument is a back and forth where at the end of the argument, we both are of the opinion that we have become more knowledgeable about whatever subject we argue.
That's a debate. This was just a straight up argument.
And
you know, now I would rather debate. I would rather, you seen me, I'd fucking love to debate. But I'm fucking arguing. I was brought up by a bunch of Puerto Rican women. Puerto Rican and black women.
That's strike one.
We will argue. That's strike 1 and 2. We will argue. I will fucking argue with you. But with the little piece of Americana in me, I guess, make sure I have facts and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you know, I got the grace to know when I'm fucking wrong to bow the fuck out. Or, you know, if something even sounds sketchy to me or whatever, you know, I'm like, you know, if I'm wrong, you know, this might not be real. You know, after further look, and just like everything else with anybody else, you know, if I fucking stated something and I found out through further knowledge or something that I was wrong or something wasn't exactly right or something, and I come out and change my stance on it because of the new knowledge, you know, I fucking changed my stance. Be fucking happy somebody's on your side now. But because, you know, Trump changed his stance on this whole TikTok, you know, now this was, you know, we can't have conspiracy theories about Cali. We can't have conspiracy theories about Tennessee or North Carolina. But we can sure as fuck say, oh, this was a big ploy by fucking Donald Trump. He had this in the works back before Biden. And, you know, this
shenanigans.
Shenanigans. There's no other word for that. Fucking shenanigans. So I'm seeing everybody. No, Elon Musk says Elon Musk got the biggest grin on his face. I got the inauguration on the corner.
Listen, I'm just praying it goes off without a hitch. That's all.
Oh God, I think it might. No, they got some. It looks like maybe the Navy choir singers.
That's nice.
They're singing. I see either that. Or
Hey,
they all got their mouths open for blowjobs.
I'm glad he moved the inauguration inside because you know what? Hey, no chances taken.
Yeah, but how much more fun would that been? You know,
That's not what I'm here to debate, sir. That's not what
this was not only about the TikTok, it's about the inauguration. I mean, honestly, I mean, I'm gonna take my politics out of it. Just the dick that I am, I think he should have been outside. You know, get you a heated vet. Oh, they are done and leaving.
there you go.
Apparently he's inaugurated. Woo! 45. All right, that's enough of that. 45, 47. Well, we can say 47 now. We can say 47 now.
Bro. Honestly, and this is the thing is the advantage he has is he can't run again, which means whatever he wants to do, he's got to do right now. And hey, if he does it right, then follow up, you're going to have JD Vance, then you're going to have Tulsi Gabbard, maybe RFK maybe in as a VP somewhere. And you're going, listen, you have a possibility that you may be able to turn this shit around because right now, bro, like, hey, everyone's looking at the clock going, you're 250 years are up. This is a problem, right? Because this is a dangerous time.
In one day, because last night, around the same time I watched the Magic Video debacle. Last night there was only 50 orders that he was going to sign today. Yeah. It jumped to 200 after Fauci and fucking them got all fucking pardoned. Now, but what you were saying about, you know, being able to start the line. A lot of people out there, because, you know, Donald Trump jokingly said if you guys wanted me, he'd be to, you know, go for another term. That can kind of happen.
Listen.
Now he can't be president again.
No.
But
he could pull a Putin.
He could run for vice president.
Now, so I talked about those somebody.
Look, if you ran for vice president, there is no term limit on vice president.
Can you imagine? Oh. Hey, he's pulling a Putin. That's basically. He's like, listen, I'll just be in the background, making sure. Hey, so
Barack did it. He's still there.
Hey, Shell already said he declared 2 genders only. Bro, listen. Hey, yeah, and you can choose whichever one you want to be. No problem.
And whichever one you choose.
Sure. By all means.
You know, hey, if you're a guy, you want to choose to be a girl, then
that's fine.
The government's not paying for your fucking work, though. You know, that's it. That's the only problem I got a big issue with that because, you know why there is so many, now it's trans, because when I was growing up, they were cross-dressers.
Yep.
But, you know, that's a taboo word now. But because that shit cost a lot of fucking money and the government wasn't paying for it. Yeah. But now people have found loopholes and, you know, they always want to bitch about the price of this medicine, the price of insulin, the price of surgery, the price of a doctor's visit. But nobody's bitching about the price to get your tits and your dick cut off.
Inquiring minds want to know.
You know, because Alexa paid $6,000, and that was back in the heyday for her tits. She didn't even get the whole. She paid $6,000, or somebody paid $6,000 for them tits. But either way, you're gonna tell me now, some elementary school kid has $6,000 just to toss away on some titties?
I don't know. That's
no, they don't. They fucking don't.
Hey, Rochelle said he
lunch money. No, they fucking don't.
Rochelle just said he declared back pay for military that refused COVID vaccines. Good. It's about goddamn time. It's about damn time. Even I was talking about that with Cole, was the whole idea where it's like, bro, the amount of money to give veterans insurance and like a stipend on a daily basis or like a monthly basis, if they've served, right? You're like, yeah, it's not that much money out of the gross domestic product. You're like, yeah, to cover everybody, everyone who's ever served in the military, that they get a stipend. It's not that much money, and you're like, bro, like veterans don't get taken care of by choice. It's bullshit. It's not,
Right, right.
And
And
you're like, yeah, that's a problem.
and I see a lot of, and again, it's the new age police officers, and I'm hoping it's not the majority of them. I know
Yeah.
back in the day, I spoke a lot and I supported, the authorities, but this new generation of cops out here are fuck with something terrible. Um, I just hope that the like I've seen this new generation of cop go at military people like they aren't shit.
Yeah.
Like, do you know this dude just came back from combat? If he really wanted to, he could beat you with your gun.
Yeah.
And you're gonna treat him like shit?
Yeah, that's not. You know what? And that's, see, this is the thing. I don't think anyone deserves to be treated like shit until they prove it, and then treat them like shit. It's that
Exactly.
simple.
I mean,
But you can't like
you treat people accordingly, especially if you're an authority. You're supposed to be a little bit higher. That power isn't granted to you to fucking start throwing your dick at people. That power is granted to you to be, the bigger man in a situation.
even when you're this big.
Right.
Hey, that's something I even talked with cops about. I'm like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable having that much authority. And they're like, yeah, it's an issue. And I'm like, no, I can imagine. Because you're like, hey, it's not normal. And also too, it can go to your head immediately.
Yeah.
And then you're in a bad situation.
I witnessed it with one of my best friends, dude. He went out to be a sheriff. He went and I saw it coming, and I thought maybe it was just me when he was going through the police academy.
Yeah.
He was always more of a quieter dude, not, and all of a sudden he's Mr. Gun Ho. Let's go fight, let's go do this and that. And I'm like,
yeah, that's a problem.
Bill, this ain't really. I mean, we were drunk one night and he tried to pull some fuck shit with me. I snatched her. I was like, dude, you ain't a fucking cop yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Down. You just better remember who the fuck you are.
This is
That's I watched that. I watched that power go to my boy's head real quick, and and just like a lot of them, they get their time up quick, and Bill wasn't a sheriff very long.
Yeah, that's why it's like, look, you can't. There's a reason that there are balances and checks and balances throughout the system, and when those start working together, that's a bigger problem, right? Yeah. They should be working to keep each other regular, right? That's why I keep on saying, like,
that's what the balance means.
Well, look, the fact was that between unions, organized crime, and government, everyone was making a little extra cash, but at the same time, everyone kept each other honest, right? Unions couldn't be too powerful because organized crime would come in. Organized crime couldn't get too powerful because government would come in. Government couldn't get too powerful because unions would come in. There's all those three, and now you said, look, unions are toothless. Organized crime has gone to shit. And the government is running with some of the best stock pickers known to mankind to have ever graced the planet with their footsteps. And they're making 54+% on their trades. Something's wrong.
So Ray says she didn't catch everything, but he mentioned the Panama Canal, immigration, and several other things. That Panama Canal thing, people need to look into that. Because they all keep saying that America has no right. America has no right. Oh, look at the agreement.
Listen.
Look at that agreement. Because in the agreement, it says that America would not be traded. We're supposed to get preferential treatment pretty much through the Panama Canal. And it's, we pay for the upkeep. We don't do it, but we pay for the upkeep. We pay for everything going on in there. And China is getting the preferential treatment, and these other countries are getting, and they're getting their hand fucking,
sure.
They Panama got their money fucking years and years and years ago. These people are getting money right now, so that's the way it's rolling. So Trump's like, if we're paying out all this money, we should be getting our preferential fucking treatment, and if not, then we get to take it back. Well, in that agreement, it says if we don't get our preferential treatment, in so many words, I'm paraphrasing, but if we don't get our preferential treatment, we can take that motherfucker back. So I mean,
that's a decision.
Yeah.
Hey.
And the more you want, Trump brought that up as a joke, and then they wanted to start running their mouths. Not our media, but it was on our media, but them personally. Just like the whole Greenland thing. It's quite possibility Greenland's going to be acquired by America. And you know what? The people of Greenland want that.
Well, they want freedom from Denmark.
Right, exactly.
Right. So
now, the countries around it, Denmark, Germany, what is it? All the other countries that surround it, whatever the fuck. Is it that?
Well,
whatever countries that are around it, like right there.
Yeah.
Who pretty much got their little piece of control of it. Don't want it. Those are the people who are saying it's not for sale. It's not for sale.
Hey, you know what? You're gonna get a little lesson today. Who's got the biggest guns gets to make decisions.
Well, that's another issue because on it was nobody's reporting because of TikTok and this inauguration bullshit. Is China is ready to go in on Taiwan?
Yeah,
and see this could be an issue. I don't see it happening in Greenland, but this could be the issue. If China decides to invade Taiwan, there's nothing aside from sanctions that America could do about it. There's nothing that NATO could do about it. Not a damn thing. Because it's such a small area of land. And you're going to take your whole armed forces in and attack this huge country because of the small area of land. It doesn't make sense. Now, what does make sense, and I hate to say it that it has to be like this, but it was already said before. If China invades Taiwan, America will not invade China or go at China mainland. America has to destroy Taiwan because of all the assets that America has on Taiwan. And that's where, what was it, last year, the year before last? It might have even been, no, it was within the past couple of years. Taiwan was, having a big fit because that was mentioned on media, that what the American, army, we can't risk, it's not a fucking good bet there. I mean, you're going to lose more than anything trying to defend this little country or this little island. Now, I believe the Taiwanese people, if they want to be free, let them be free. Just like the people of Greenland, they want to be free, let them be free. But, Taiwan is like, I believe that we're going to do to Taiwan, Greenland, the same thing we did to Taiwan. You aren't going to be exactly America. You'll be a territory of us. We'll put all our shit there and we'll make you feel safe because we got a little military base there. But in the end, if Denmark or Germany or Russia wants to come in and take you, we can't defend you. We're just going to have to blow you the fuck up.
Hey, man. Like that's the truth of it. Scary. Oh, Rochelle says Biden has left the grounds. Bro.
Yeah, good. Now, wouldn't it be? No, I ain't even going to say that. Because I noticed we've been doing good. There's no glitches. You notice? Ever since the whole Zuck, oil can thing.
Interesting, isn't it?
Not a glitch. And we've touched on some pretty much everything. We've touched on Dirty Joe himself. Shit.
Bro. And all I'm saying is, hey, he left the building. Did he go directly to an old age home? Because that's where he should have been.
Helicopter fly away now. So
he should give two peace symbols like Nixon. I'm going.
Dude, I bet you if he'd have did that, he'd have fell over.
There is that.
Oh my God, dude! Did you see? Like, apparently, a lot of the media and a lot of other, I haven't seen too many entertainers. There's been a lot of media and these pundits or whatever talking shit about Snoop Dogg and Nelly and Soulja Boy fucking performing.
Well, dude. So last inauguration of Trump, they were like, I want to see which one of you Uncle Toms go up and start supporting him and stuff like that. And then you're like, That didn't age too well there, sir.
Dude, Soldier Boy interview was the best. When we get done here, fucking watch the Soldier Boy interview.
Oh.
He fucking snapped. I don't know if he was talking to a reporter that brought it up or if he just came out with it. He started the interview flashing like 3 fucking huge stacks of $100 bills in front of the fucking camera. And he was like, Barack Obama didn't put this money in my pocket. Kamala Harris didn't put this money in my pocket. You know who put this money in my pocket? Donald fucking Trump put this money in my pocket. I'm not supposed to perform for the fucking president. Fuck y'all. Barack Obama suck my dick. But come on, dude. And it wasn't quick.
Bro.
This was a good 6+ minutes of him just fucking go. When he said Barack Obama suck my dick almost got hard.
He might. Just an FYI.
Dude, oh my God. He fucking snapped on all them motherfuckers. He was like, didn't none of y'all call me? None of y'all cared about me. Didn't nobody. I'm not supposed to perform for the fucking president? Fuck this shit, dude.
It's like the realistic position is that these guys are like, they try and hold each other socially accountable when in the end they're still taking money in the back door. So just calm down.
Well, apparently, like, Soldier Boy supported Trump regardless.
Good for him.
Nelly even did. I didn't know that. Well, I mean, kind of, he does country music now, but they show his interview on media more than anything because his wasn't, he composed himself a little bit better. Soldier Boy just came out hood rich and just snapped.
Is Nelly the one that used to have the Band-Aid on his face? Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember him.
He even came out. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was here to cater to your political beliefs."
It's about time that somebody says that and be like, yeah, you know what? Oh, you're my fan? Good. You have different political beliefs? That's okay.
I didn't see anything from Snoop because Snoop had a lot of shit that he talked about Donald Trump. I ain't seen a damn thing, but before he goes out there or anybody says he was just there for the money. No, he was there for photo ops too, because he was taking pictures with the grandkids. He was taking pictures. They even had a special, like the one, I don't know, nephew or grandkid, because Snoop's a Crip. So, everything, it can't be red. It got to be blue. So he had a blue MAGA hat on. Even Snoop did. And he had blue fucking shoes on.
Listen, after all is said and done, I think people need to realize is the last inauguration, okay, Snoop was like, oh, I'm not going to support him. Da, 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 da. But now that Snoop owns so much music that he's definitely 1%er, now he's like, oh, I'm all for Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump's going to protect my wealth. So let everybody,
that is true because you know what? When last time Trump was president, and he came out with his new tax, this and that. Or no, it was during Biden. It was during Biden. When he came out with his new tax, this and that. And they brought the paperwork out. Like they were doing The View.
Yeah.
They brought the paperwork out and laid it out in front of Whoopi Goldberg. And she was like, what the hell is this? You know what it was? It was how them taxes was going to hit her. Yeah. And she left the stage. She snapped because she knew that them taxes was hitting her just like they hit us.
Ta-da!
You're part of that problem, bitch, that you keep talking about.
100%. Come on.
And then that you hear about that Sunny Hostin chick. She's supposedly now divorcing her husband, but they called her out on The View. Good. Joey Behar called her out on The View because she said something about her husband and his fuckery going on. She tried to make her husband out to be this big, guardian angel and doing for people and not getting paid for it. No, the motherfucker was stealing money.
Yeah. There you go. Ta-da! Bunch of corrupt. Hey, as soon as somebody says, "Oh, you can trust me," don't trust that person.
Oh no, that's the first.
It's a lock. It's definitely not a lock. Just so you know. It's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. Just those are the new buzzwords for 2025. Guaranteed, lock, you can trust me. Don't trust those people. Hey, right there.
I love you. That was the big one.
That's long time running propaganda, bro. I love you. She don't love you, bro. Nah. She just wants them dance money. That's fine.
Oh, we got love for we got love. I got love for you. I had somebody I got accused of, or on one of the other comedians pages. I got somebody one of the comedians who's kind of wokey, but he's a little disabled, so you kind of got to leave it alone. But he came out, made a post, and said, at one of the open mics, I heard someone say the N word with a hard R on it, and it wasn't even in jokes. And one of my friends gave Mark, you didn't do this, did you? Because I don't use the hard R, but
I was that friend. I was that friend. Just to be clear, I was like, Marco strikes again.
So I went on the post, and just jokingly I wrote, "Well, damn, it might have been me." And then I started looking at these other comments of these fuckwits that they're just assholes. I'll tell you. Look, you're seeing me. Don't make me say your names. But one of them might have been a dude in a dress that don't look like too much of a fucking kick. So we're just gonna leave it at that. And then some other people decide to chime in, and they're kind of implicating me on really saying this and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? Because I was considered the guy in the costume. So I politely, I waited for everybody to quit running their mouth, and a couple people were just running their mouth to run their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I called them all out on it. I was like, it wasn't me. Even the dude who made the post said it wasn't me. But it's funny when you guys are out, you don't say a damn thing to me, but you want to be keyboard warriors, which it's kind of bitch made to me. Sincerely yours, the guy in the costume. P.S. Fuck all yous.
That's right.
So now I get a message maybe an hour or two later. One of the people who decided to put his 2 cents in and didn't know me at all, didn't know what, kind of, I guess he just wanted to be in the conversation.
Sure.
But he apologized to me. I appreciate that. He was like, you know what? I don't even know you. I had no right to say what I said. I just seen the post. And, how would you feel if I went into a Mexican restaurant and started saying stuff about Mexicans?
Ta-da.
Gotta love when you're trying to apologize to somebody because you thought was being racist with a racist apology. Not Mexican.
Ta-da.
That is what we come to in this culture. That is what we come to. This is the reason why Donald Trump's president right now. Because of that fuckery. So the only response I had to give him was, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd have probably went to the Mexican restaurant and talked shit too, being that I'm Puerto Rican.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Congratulations, your woke ass is racist. Boom. There you go.
Anyways. Fucking crazy. So well, we've been running about an hour and a half, Dino. I mean, this was kind of fun, man.
It was fun.
End of the weekend show to recap the weekend. We might have to do this more often.
I am down for that. Mondays are a little bit hectic, but hey, you know what? For you, the viewer, I will come just for the simple fact that I find that a lot of on the weekend is basically a madhouse. It's just so many. Listen, people, you get out of the house during the week. There's less traffic. It's a better time. The weekend, stay home. Stay home and enjoy your family. Because I'll tell you, it is not the time that you should be out and about. Because people should be doing too much shit on the weekends. I'm just telling you right there. Okay.
So with that being said, if you guys like the show, if you think it'd be something good that y'all watch out there in all the social media lands, let us know in a comment or whatever. And motherfucking Monday. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Ain't that about a bitch? It's motherfucking Monday.
Mthfk Monday is better. We'll leave it exactly like that. Okay. That way, no, it's an abbreviation. Motherfuck Monday. Okay. That's fair.
That's it. So with that being said, motherfuck Joe Biden, motherfuck all his people, motherfuck that motherfuck the seat he is sitting in right now, motherfuck his depends, motherfuck his whole bullshit legacy.
Bro.
Motherfuck his whore ass wife who was flirting with Donald Trump.
Gross.
Make sure you check out. Yeah, make sure you check out Dino the Genetic Marvel. Make sure you. Yep, right there on everything. He got a fucking plug.
Yeah, I got a show tonight where we are talking. Okay, it's called Life of Giants. We talk about people, historical figures, and how it's affecting us today. And the quote for today is, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country," which I feel was apropos to this evening. We're going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be in Cole Clayton. Marco's been showing up for our Thursday show on mental health. You might show up tonight. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But we are talking about stuff, and yeah. Subscribe to everything. If you haven't, you're a bad person. God doesn't love you. Just
yeah, and check us out on Upside Down Studios, or on my own personal Marco Torres page. And yeah, make sure you check out Joey Edibles, Joey Varel on Square Table Degenerates.
Yep.
They always got good content going on. And if you want, I think his name was Joseph Bertie, whatever the fuck his name is. You know, just because I used his fucking name,
sure.
You know,
so he knows we're talking about him. Just you. How about that?
Not only you don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but you could check out maybe his show. I'm not. After this, he's pretty much forgotten, just like he said I was. But I'm sure something will be said. Idiot. Motherfuck you two.
Nice. And that's how we sign off.
All right. From all of us at Upside Down Studios, it's a new world. 47, baby. We out.
Bro, that's a new sign. 47. Bam. That's it.
5-7, baby.
So what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. So what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. So what the fuck? What the fuck?